Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Mr. Hino with Mr. Hino's LEGO Robotics. Today's video is going to be about, those of you that do FLL, it's just going to be about a philosophy of strategy. I don't know what I'm going to tell you, if it's going to be groundbreaking or earth-shattering for any of you, but it's just a tip, a technique on what I usually like to go through with my teams, just so that we are, when we look at the missions that they are going to do, to just strategize instead of being random. It's always good. Like, I don't know. I don't consider myself any grandmaster, but I like to play chess, and it's always good in my brain if I have a plan rather than just making random moves and expecting to win by just not really having a plan. So when we do FLL, I always tell my students, you know what, let's go through the plan, and let's be more strategic than just random. So here you're looking at the Spring Showdown map that we're going to be competing in later this month. It's called the Spring Showdown Silver Edition. I'm not going to go through the missions with you. I'm just going to show you something that I mapped out. So let's come into my office right here. Here's what I do. I usually like to break up the board into 4 parts. So base is here, and then I just like to split it down the middle. What I like to show my team members is, or have them basically map out where the points are. So this is pretty shocking. If you look at base right here, only 20 points can be awarded just in this lower left quartile here. We get into this quartile here, 60 points. Things right on the edge here, that's 55 and 40. 125 here in this upper right quartile. And then look at that. That shocks my mind. 195 in this upper left quartile here. So you might be asking, Mr. what are you talking about here? What strategy can we get from this map here? I also play basketball, and I just know the farther away you get from the basket, the lower your percents get when you try to make the shot. So when I have my teams look at the point totals, one could assume the farther away we get from base, the lower their chances are of getting those points. Obviously, the closer it is, the better your choice or your chances of getting those points. So I usually like to tell my teams, when you're going through your missions, be wise about these quartiles right here. If there are points to be awarded, always be looking at these first. Kind of like in basketball, if you can get a layup, why? I mean, 3-pointers are good, but again, your chances of making them go way down the farther you go away, like over here. So that's the good thing about this upper left quartile, is it's so close to base. I usually tell my team members, let's focus in on this right here. Let's make sure we're getting everything we can out of here, because if we start to go further away from base, our percentages go down. Now, there still is a lot of points to be had here, because if you look at this, these two would be 185. This would put that over 200 as compared to here. But you definitely don't want to do this as far as a strategy goes. You don't want to start focusing too much and using a lot of your time down here, and then start to forget maybe up here. So it's just a good map to have when you're looking at an FLL robot game strategy, is to just look at your quartiles like this and go, where should we focus? I mean, obviously you have to take the time to map it out like this, but when you do actually see the numbers and the point values, it definitely starts to open your eyes like, hey everybody, let's take a look at this section here. It's close from base, and there's a lot of points to be taken, especially if you want to combine missions right on here. So That's going to be interesting to see when you and your teams map it out like this. Where are you going to find your success? And obviously, you don't want to forget here, because that's just a short trip over here from base 2. So it's just one of those things I thought you should think about, kind of use as a strategy when you're looking at the FLL board, just to kind of map out and see where are your points. Because when you look at the board over here, it's really tough to see it in your mind. I mean, you know, you can see where the things are and what chances you have of getting it done. But when you see it on paper like this, it's a lot easier to see where your options are and where your best chances of scoring points are going to come from. So I just thought you might be thinking about that for those of you that are still competing, or maybe for next year as you think about the into orbit FLL, is to be able to break it down by section like that. All right, guys, hopefully you found that helpful, and good luck to those of you that are still competing. We have one last competition here at the end of April, so we're still working. All right, guys, I am Mr. Hino from Mr. Hino's LEGO Robotics. I am out.